I'm Jim Delaney, an application scientist at SpecAc. I'm going to talk to you about the Herrick praying mantis, now part of the SpecAc product portfolio. So the praying mantis is the global leader in diffuse reflectance technology. Its highly efficient optical design makes it the highest throughput diffuse reflectance accessory on the market. However, to leverage this optical design, there are some key considerations for sample preparation when it comes to diffuse reflectance. So diffuse reflectance, when a light hits a surface, it will scatter in all directions. This is quite a powerful technique for studying powders, typically catalysts. It's this scattered reflection that researchers are interested in. In contrast, specular reflection, when a light hits a mirror, for example, the angle of incidence will equal the angle of reflection. With diffuse reflection, the angle of reflection is independent of the angle of incidence. So for rough, porous solids like powders, diffuse reflection is quite a powerful technique for monitoring gas-solid interactions of heterogeneous catalysis, for example. So what are these key considerations? One, your sample has to be a rough solid, typically a powder. You have to make sure your grain and particle size of this powder is small and uniform to be a good diffuse reflector. Typically, you want to make sure the powder is under 40 microns. 5 to 10 micron particle size is what I would say the sweet spot. Next, if your sample is a strong absorber, you want to make sure it's diluted correctly with the right reference dilutant material. Typically, this is going to be KBr, although other materials are also used, such as KCl and diamond powder. Some key considerations when you prepare your sample and you're going to dilute your sample is you have to really limit moisture content, if not eliminate it completely, as this could interfere with the reactions taking place during your experimental setup. So when getting ready to prepare a sample, the praying mantis offers some pretty nifty sample cups to easily load in your powder for your reference material as well as your sample. When you prepare your sample, you want to take your reference material like KBr and you want to bake it out, typically for 24 hours at about 105 degrees C. When it's done baking, you want to take it out and you want to store it in a desiccator until you're ready for use. From there, once you're ready to prepare your sample, you'll take your actual sample and you'll dilute it. The literature will say 2 to 15% concentration in your reference. 1 to 2% is usually fine. 5% can also be used and it is considered a sweet spot as well in the literature. Once you make your sample mixture, the praying mantis is super easy to use. You simply open it up, and as you can see here, the sample cup easily slides in and out of its sample holder. So the first thing you'll do is you'll use your baked out reference material. In this case, we'll say KBr. You easily insert it into the praying mantis. You close it up in your spectrometer, collect a background spectrum. From there, you empty the sample cup. You can now pack your 2 to 5% diluted sample material into the praying mantis and collect the sample spectrum. So the whole point of this discussion is that in order to leverage the optical strengths of the praying mantis and its industry-leading technology, sample preparation is key with diffuse reflectance. If you can repeatably prepare your sample, pack your sample cup, and you're able to do this consistently and repeatably, and your praying mantis is aligned, you'll get the best possible data that the accessory will allow you to get with its high throughput. Thank you for your time and attention.